Oh my gosh, I almost said the wrong thing. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back yet again to another edition of the Comicsgate Commandos, number 81. Thank you all for being here. I was about to say it again this evening, but this afternoon, we appreciate it. We're very, very excited to be interviewing our special guest star for this evening, Graham Nolan. And so before we bring him on, though, let me bring on my co-hosts for this afternoon. It's Carbon Hart. What's up, Carbon?
Good afternoon, Patrick. Good to see you. And there's some sunshine on you now. It's like I'm looking at a completely different person, right?
Yep, I got the windows open, and it's getting hot in here, though. I will say that much.
But no, I'm excited to be here on a rare Friday, and I'm very excited about our guest today for sure.
Yeah, I bet
Hail
you
chat,
are being
Hail
a big
CG.
Batman fan.
Yes, yeah, I'm kind of. I've been nerding out over the last couple of days, looking refreshing on my Batman knowledge.
Perfect. Well, we're let's get further into it here. Let's bring on Sergeant Guimont.
What's up, Frederick? Good evening this afternoon, Commandos.
What's up, Frederick?
How's everybody doing?
How you doing, man?
Doing good, man. We got rolling strikes instead of a permanent strike in the Canada Post right now, so I'm getting my mail again.
Perfect. That's good to hear.
Isn't communism great?
Oh, wait a minute. The strike is over?
No, it's not over. It's rolling. So now instead of striking everywhere all the time, they're doing a rolling strike so people can get their mail once in a while.
That's like the opposite of a strike. Commies don't even know how to do that right. Oh my God. All right. Well, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let me bring on our special guest star for this afternoon. It is, in fact, the legendary Graham Nolan. Hey,
gentlemen.
How are you today, sir?
You're very good. Good to be here.
Excellent. So we got a lot of questions for you. I think, though, the first things that I'd like to do here is to remind everybody that Graham currently has a sign-up page going on for Shanu 77. It should be pinned to the top of the chat, but I'm going to post it again here. So if you guys wouldn't mind going down there and putting your email in there and getting signed up.
Would appreciate it. Thank you.
Yes. So, Graham, first, we want to get into the full story, how you got to where you are now, where you came from. So what was the first thing that you remember that brought you into comics?
It was probably media. You know, I grew up in the mid '60s, so Batman TV show with Adam West was huge at Batmania. I had a Batman birthday party for like my 6th birthday. So, you know, that was where my introduction and the Adventures of Superman was on the George Reeves show. Used to be on TV as well. So that was my first introduction probably to the superheroes. But then I was really a monster kid. You know, I got into monster movies and magazines and stuff. And there was a kind of a tertiary alignment between the two because there'd be comic information in the monster magazines. And so I sort of like gravitated back and forth between the two.
Very nice. I can see how your love of monsters and comics would also lead you to liking the Fantastic Four, which obviously you're
I mean, I saw the Thing on a cover smashing the Sandman one time, and I'm like, oh, look at that monster kicking that guy's ass. I got to read this, you know.
Amazing. So walk us through. So you got into comics that way, but what led you to be like, okay, I want to actually work in the comic industry?
Well, I like to draw, and I was no good at math, so I figured I might as well go into comics, you know. I actually had that thought in my head that, you know, somebody's getting paid to do these comic books that I'm reading and I'm loving, so it might as well be me. You know, I didn't know anything about the business, you know, of, you know, what I could expect to make and everything. I just figured, you know, that would be a career for me.
Very nice.
Let me ask you if I can jump in. Do you remember your earliest drawing moment, like as a child? Like what age that was and what you drew? Or like
no, I don't know.
Or maybe around what age did you start, you know, drawing and remembering what you're actually drawing?
Probably, I would say 4th or 5th grade.
Okay.
Yeah, so what'd that make me, about 7 or 8, something like that?
Mm-hmm. And was it mostly monsters at that point still?
Yeah, it was monsters.
Okay.
You know, I was building Aurora model kits, and I was drawing those, and looking at pictures in magazines, monster magazines, and stuff.
Very cool. It's funny you said you guys, like, you classic professionals, you and Aaron Lopresti and a few of the other guys. You guys are. It's funny how you guys started with the monsters. That was your main thing, and then moved on to the more mainstream comics. I think it's a fascinating little thing that you guys share in common. It's very cool.
Well, back then, the monster boom started in 1958 when they released all those movies to the television stations, and it just went crazy from 1958 all the way up through the mid 1970s. So Aaron and I were on the tail end of what was called the Monster Kids, and so that was like really popular, amongst young boys particularly. Less so afterwards, the classic monsters, that kind of stuff. So I'm just a product of my era, like all of us.
I did want to ask you, and maybe this is a little bit off topic, but it has something to do with monsters. How do you feel about like what it used to be, the kind of the horror scene versus what the horror scene is kind of now? Do you like horror movies, like modern horror movies?
Yeah, I do. When they're good, I think the Conjuring movies are fantastic. The first one, made the hair on my arm go up. So I like them when they're good.
Yeah, the nun from that movie, dude. It's like one of the scariest things in recent years.
Yeah. In the first one, there was a scene where they're in a room and they're looking at like an armoire, and it's kind of dark and everything. And I didn't realize there was like this ghost character sitting on top of the armoire looking down at the person. And as soon as I saw that, I was like, holy shit. It freaked me out, Yeah. That's a good scare. That's good.
Mm-hmm.
That got the job done.
That reminds me, they're in what was the first Conjuring, the one where she's looking down the stairs and then the hands come from behind her head and clap. That got me. Yeah. Oh man.
Yeah. So those movies are good. There's some good sci-fi movies that have come out. I'm really looking forward to Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein.
Yeah.
I cannot wait for that.
It looked. We watched that trailer with Mandy and Dale the other night. That looks really good.
Yeah. And what I love is Del Toro, unabashed monster kid, loves the monster movies. His house is loaded with movie props and stuff like that. Frankenstein's his favorite, and so his version is sort of like a mashup of Shelley's novel and the Universal Karloff films, which is perfect. It's a great blend and marriage. And what I like is that, unlike a lot of directors these days who do horror, he's decided not to put a blue filter over everything. I can't stand that. Show me something. I don't want to I don't want to have to, strain my eyes to see what I'm looking at because you got this blue filter over everything. He's painting with a palette of color in this, which is just fantastic. And so I've got my hopes really set high on it. So we'll see.
Speaking of Frankenstein, I've got right here Joe Frankenstein Part 1 and Part 2.
Nice.
And didn't you just finished Part 3's fulfillment, right? Are you still in that right now?
No, we finished that. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I unfortunately did not have the funds to back that one at the time, but
yeah, that'll go up on the website, compasscomics.com shortly.
Speaking of which, let me post that in the actually, I'll just show people what you should do here. Observe. So if you go to Compass Comics, it'll have this little pop-up here. Sign up for our newsletter.
Yeah.
And everybody knows what my email is, so I don't really care. You just put your email in like so, and then you sign up.
Yeah, and then you'll get emails, about things that we're doing, maybe convention appearances. But every Monday you'll get an email with my Sunshine State comic strip to start your week off for free.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I didn't know you did that. That's really cool.
Yeah. There's the characters up there at the top.
These guys. Oh yeah. I've seen these guys before. Yeah. Okay. I didn't know it was like a thing that you did regularly like that, though. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, every Monday.
Very, very nice. Well, chat, that is your task that I've tasked you with right now. It's in order. Speaking of the chat, let's say hello to the chat, shall we? StreamYards has gone back to replacing people's screen names with their golly gee willikers. Anyway,
email addresses.
Yeah, I'm gonna try my best to figure out who's who. Basilisk. I feel like this is
rough.
I'll figure it out.
He's Basilisk.
Sorry. He's Hail Basilisk. Thanks for being here, man. We got Ben Ament. Welcome. Thank you for being here, man. Appreciate it. We have Riley. Will it bring the thing up? We've got Riley from Clipiver.
Patrick, I think you're roboting.
Yeah,
I don't know
kind of
if it's
froze,
me.
Patrick.
Yeah,
I was
frozen now.
How many of Patrick can you bench?
Oh, he's back now. Okay, he's
Yeah.
catching
Okay.
up.
You were frozen for a minute.
Mm.
You back, Patrick?
Sounds like there's a delay. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah. Yeah, but
Yes,
your mouth
but
and your words aren't lining up.
No.
Yeah. Sounds like you're dubbed.
Watching a Japanese horror movie.
Yeah, exactly. Just
The
missing
Grudge.
the subtitles.
King Kong versus Godzilla.
Graham, since we were on your website, I did want to mention, I think one of the greatest titles to a book is Two-Fisted Manly Tales. Giant-sized Two-Fisted Manly Tales. That was one of the first titles from Comicsgate that I mentioned to a friend of mine who knew nothing about this, right? And so I'm like, yeah, I explained Comicsgate and all the indie creators, some of them being from the big two and whatnot. And then I said, I'm getting some of these books, and then I mentioned that's one of the first titles, Giant-Sized Two-Fisted Manly Tales. I'm like, how can you not buy that?
I know. It's a celebration of toxic masculinity.
I mean, really, that's the essence. Like, I know that you're a big, obviously, like you just said, Batman and Superman was kind of like the essence of what you first got into.
Mm-hmm.
And it kind of, that's the core of it, like these heroic Herculean characters, right? Being able to throw a punch and defeat the villains, so.
Yeah, I don't see a lot of that, and I see a lot of talking in modern day superhero comics, a lot of lamentation, a lot of self-doubt and stuff, and celebration of or trying to make the villain somewhat relatable. It's like, why?
Yeah.
Why are you doing that? I want the villain to get his ass kicked.
Yeah, they'd rather have mental therapists show up to the crime scene rather than the police.
Exactly.
Let's get a mental counselor to stop the crime, as opposed to the old-fashioned way.
Yeah, nowadays you have the heroes fighting the police, right? With the Batman commission we saw as well, which made the rounds.
Yeah. But there's been some great versions of that, like people have done where he's like snapping the Antifa neck, or that dude that was on the subway that killed that poor girl.
Yeah,
that one was my.
That
favorite.
was good.
The best one.
Yes, that's a good one.
That was my favorite.
Nice.
That's the Batman you want to see. That's the Batman you fantasize about, being able to get those guys.
Mm-hmm.
Not strangling ICE agents.
Clearly.
Speaking of Absolute Batman, by the way, I'm sorry, my internet went out. You pay for great internet and then you plug in and then it still doesn't work. Oh my god.
I think you're good now, Patrick.
Okay, good. But speaking of Absolute Batman, Graham, so obviously Absolute Batman, as far as I'm aware, he kills people.
Okay.
Which makes him kind of like the Punisher. I've always thought the Punisher and the Batman are kind of similar. What do you think about that? Like, do you think that there's similar characters and the one? Because I always thought the only difference between them is that Punisher kills people.
Well, that's a huge difference, though, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
The fact that Batman does not kill is what makes him special, makes him heroic too, because he doesn't have superpowers. He's just a smart, well physiqued, trained individual. And he uses those skills and his detective skills, to bring justice that the law is letting slip through. He's not a fascist. He's, I sort of blame Frank Miller for the modern version of Batman, this nihilistic character. It takes away the knight part, the KNIGHT part of Batman, fighting for the right reasons, to have a holy quest, if you will, at the sacrifice of his own life. The guy's a billionaire. He could live, fat and rich anywhere he wants, he doesn't have to worry about crime, but he does, and that's the sacrifice. And that's the aspect of his heroism that I find the most interesting.
Would you say that?
Go ahead, Carbon.
I just have to ask in response to that about Alan Moore. Would you say that Batman Year One or The Killing Joke was more of a turning point in which Alan Moore influenced that shift?
Well, Year One was written by Miller.
Oh yeah, okay, that's Miller. Yeah, Miller. I'm mixing them up.
And that was I did enjoy that much more than I did The Dark Knight Returns. And as far as Killing Joke goes, I can't stand that book.
I guess my real question was, which of those books during that huge turning point do you think was the biggest shift towards that nihilistic?
Well, the nihilistic part, I think, comes mostly from Dark Knight Returns.
Mm-hmm.
The part of Alan Moore's that I disliked was the fact that he puts the reader through all these terrible things, the sexual abuse of and the paralyzation of Barbara Gordon, the terrible things that he does to Commissioner Gordon, the crimes that the Joker commits and all that. He builds that up, and there's no great resolution. We get to the end, and Batman is confronting the Joker, and we're supposed to again feel sorry for the Joker, and the Joker tells a joke, and the two of them are giggling and laughing together at the very end of it. Now, some people have speculated that the Batman killed the Joker between the panels there, but that's bullshit. We didn't see it. We don't know it.
Right.
And, that's just giving yourself an out for it. So it was that ending that so aggravated Chuck and I that we wrote Devil's Advocate. And the very ending of the Devil's Advocate was a definite shout out to what we disliked about Killing Joke. That was never supposed to be canon either, by the way.
Killing Joke?
Yeah, that was supposed to be a standalone story. The same thing with was it Birth of the Demon? No, the one where Talia gives birth to Bruce's son. Those were supposed to be
Rise of the Demon,
Elseworld stories. Yeah, they were never supposed to be part of canon. Same thing with Dark Knight. Those were just what if kind of stories. But then new editors came in and they co-opted them into canon.
Yeah, sorry, ahead, Patrick.
Carl. You're good.
I'm sorry. I'm just getting really into this now. But after this, I'll let you go. I agree with you on the Killing Joke, because even though I actually like that book a lot because of the artwork, Boland is brilliant, and
the artwork is amazing.
Yeah, also the shock value of it is that's part of the appeal, I feel, because people were stunned by it, and so it makes it memorable. Mm-hmm. But I know what you mean, in which it became a little too sadistic, became a little too much like you're watching something that's like almost smut. So I understand that.
Yeah, it's like violence porn,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the ending, there was a bit of this kind of camaraderie that was developed between Batman and Joker, in which Moore was starting to show his side of appealing to the villain,
Mm-hmm.
And so I agree with that. That makes sense.
Let me say hello to, we got Kami Mark in the chat here. Hail, Kami Mark. Thanks for being here.
Hey, Kami Mark.
We have Peter Gilmore. What's up, Peter?
There's another monster kid.
That's right. And we have Headless Bourgeoisie. Thank you for being here, Headless Bourgeoisie.
Hey.
While I'm saying hello to Peter, I would like to remind people that our next comic, Peter's and mine, River of Blood we've got to sign up for that as well, which I've just posted in the chat. If you guys wouldn't mind taking a look, signing up for that. Really cool horror story with monsters and I don't want to give too much away, but it's crazy. It's a wild story.
Nice.
But it's very interesting to me because the story revolves around the creature known as the Wetiko, which is obviously a name that is used for the Wendigo. And then we've got Bronze Star 2 coming out pretty soon here, or launching pretty soon, where that's about the Wendigo. And then the Shanu. So where does the Shanu come from?
The Shanu is part of Algonquin lore.
Okay.
It's a similar creature. You know, a lot of these different tribal things have similar mythologies. Maybe they just call them different things, you know, but the Shanu was a man at one time whose soul was scarred, typically through cannibalism. But there's other things, you know, and it would turn him into this ice creature or snow creature. And he would eat the hearts of men to try and reclaim the heat, the warmth that he could no longer enjoy.
Huh. Is it possible for him to eat enough hearts to become a regular dude again?
No.
Okay. So does the
but there
Shanu
is a way for him to get out of the curse, which I explore in Shanu 77.
Okay. So we'll be introduced to that. That's cool.
Yeah.
Is the Shanu like, is he sentient? Is he aware of what he's like? Can he speak or anything like that?
In the first book, he does not speak, but in the second book, he does speak. He does speak. He speaks the ancient Algonquin language. He doesn't speak a lot, but what he says is creepy.
Very nice. Is that one up on your store right now?
That's the one that's going to be launching Thursday.
77 is number 2. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. The original one is up, but it's coming down because it's going to be part of the like catch up perk.
Okay.
So that people who didn't get the first one can get the 2 together.
Perfect. I was hoping you'd say that. Awesome. Well, fantastic. So I wanted to ask you, walk us through how you went from, like, what is it that got you into the mainstream? Like, when did you join and how did that work out? And what was your first gig, that kind of thing?
Well, I went to the Joe Kubert School and studied under Joe and tutelage of the teachers at that school. One of them was Sal Amendola, who at the time was the new talent coordinator at DC Comics, and he edited a book called New Talent Showcase, and he bought 2 of my student projects to run in that comic. So that was my first professional sale, was actual 2 student projects. They were just a couple page stories. You know, the first one was a 2-page story called The Fan. And I think the second one was it was something that Sal himself, it was based on an old joke with a sci-fi twist to it, you know. And those ran in New Talent Showcase in 1985, I believe.
Very nice.
So those were my first sales, and then I started working at I was working at an ad agency in between to make, you know, pay the bills, and then I did an issue of the Transformers for Marvel, and then things dried up there. But then I discovered Eclipse Comics, and I did a lot of work for them, and that's where I met Chuck Dixon.
Okay, very cool. And let's see here. Yeah. Sorry, I got distracted by the chat there. Very nice. So at what point did DC start courting you, or did you throw ideas at DC? How did that work? How did that all work out?
Well, I wasn't pitching ideas to them because they weren't really. They're not the kind of companies that you pitch ideas to. You show your portfolio to get work existing, you know, for projects that they're going to be launching. And that's what I did. I would just go in to the offices, meet with editors, show them my stuff. If I did something for someone, they might recommend me to somebody else. And, you know, it's sort of like a snowball going down a hill. As long as you did a good job, you did it on time, you know. And so that's how you built your career back then. You could actually go down to the offices and meet these people and talk to them. And After 9/11, you couldn't do that. You couldn't get into the building without a appointment.
Jeez. Ooh. So what was the first gig you did for DC then?
It was the fan of the student projects.
I mean, like the first, I guess. Ongoing issue.
That would have been. Let me think about that. I think it was. I think I did a 3-issue stint of Doom Patrol.
Okay.
And then that book was being canceled so that they could relaunch it with who was it? Morrison? Was it Morrison? Who took over the writing on that and changed it? I can't remember. But then I got Power of the Atom, and I worked on that till that was canceled. And then they offered me Hawkworld from issue number 1. So I got to start that. And I worked on that for a while. Then I was working on a mini series with Mark Waid for Metamorpho. And I did some fill-ins on Detective, and that's when the thing started to roll. I got into the Bat offices then. They liked my Batman work, and so they invited me to design Bane.
So, okay. Hold on. So around about what year is this?
That would have been 1990, where I got into the Bat offices.
Yeah.
That would have been 92, I believe.
Okay. And I think I've heard interviews before where, I mean, so Bane wasn't DC's idea. That was yours and Chuck's idea, right?
Well, yes and no. They were working on the idea of doing this big crossover thing called Nightfall. And to make it work, they needed a new villain for it. And Denny O'Neil was commissioning for that, and okay. Denny had some ideas for Bane, and Chuck had some ideas for Bane, but they needed a design, and so like I worked off of Chuck's notes of like for things like, I knew he was going to be raised in this like Central American prison. I knew that he had to have drugs into his system, but we couldn't show him using a hypodermic needle. I knew he was big and strong, and that he was described to me as the evil Doc Savage, and I was a huge Doc Savage fan. So I used James Bama's Doc Savage as a blueprint for Bane's physique and look. Like if you notice when he has his mask off, he's got the widow's peak. Mm-hmm. His head is shaved on the side. That's what changes it, and the ports in the back of the head for the wires so that he could press a button and have the juice, shot up into his head, were ideas that I came up with for it.
Very cool. We got another co-host, ladies and gentlemen. It is in fact Peter Gilmore. What's up, Peter?
Hey, Peter. What's up, Graham?
Nice to see you again.
Yeah, to be honest, I don't think I've spoken to you in 2 years, maybe.
It's been a while since we were on a stream together.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah.
Sorry, I meant to be here from the start, but Windows decided Windows update.
Yeah.
Ah, wonderful.
Ain't that always the way?
Yeah. Hey,
I like your ghosts in the background. That's cool.
It's the spooky season.
Yeah,
absolutely.
You're even more kitted out than you usually are back there.
I know. Look, I need to turn all these on. There you go. Woo.
Graham, since Nightfall was just brought up, I wanted to ask you about the new animated movie that's coming out for Nightfall, which was just announced last week. I was psyched because that's one of my favorite books, arcs. Were you aware of that beforehand, or you just found out?
I just found out when people started sending me the links.
Yeah.
So
honestly, the DC animated movies have been pretty solid. Like the ones that adapt like direct graphic novels.
Okay.
They've been, no, I mean like there's one for the big ones, obviously. Dark Knight Returns is a year one movie. And even the art style, they try to make it similar to the comic. And so I'm having high hopes for this one. I think it's gonna be pretty good.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hope the royalties are good.
Yeah.
That's the best part.
That's the best part.
Yeah. They just did an animated version of Splinter Cell, the game, which I may have had something to do with in the past. And that was deeply disappointing. I watched episode 1. I was like, nope, I'm out. That that really cheap anime style animation.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That plus, you've got this agent sneaking around to start snapping necks, doing all those, infiltrating. It's a black chick with dreadlocks. Of course it is. It's not Sam Fisher.
Wait,
Why
don't
would
tell
you
me the side of her head is shaved as well.
I didn't really pay that much attention. She took like the skin tight hood off, which somehow was hiding a massive plume of dreadlocks.
Right.
But yeah, didn't pay much attention apart from that.
Oh man.
Anyway, sorry, carry on.
No, we still have. There are still good movies out there. Like they're not always as good as like the comic versions. Like Superman Red Sun, that was really really good. But the ending of the comic was way better than the way they ended it in the cartoon. So, but yeah, they got some good stuff.
It's not a cartoon, Patrick. It's an animated film.
Oh,
okay.
Sorry.
There's an important distinction there.
My bad.
Right? Otherwise, what are we doing here? I'm not watching cartoons. I'm watching animated films.
Right. It's not a comic book. It's a graphic novel.
Yeah, I was just going to say, graphic novel, please.
Oh, man.
It's a bande dessinée. Shut up.
Oh, shots fired.
Well, they're all comics.
Frederick, what's the actual translation of that? Bande dessinée?
Bande dessinée. I mean, bande is a strip, and dessinée, it means drawn. So it's a drawn strip. So we're very close to comic strip,
It translates to pretentious. Pretentious name.
What's the word for secure borders in French?
Shut up, Carbon.
They don't have a word for that
language.
Yeah, right.
There's no term for that. Oh, okay. Sorry.
Totally foreign concept to them. No pun intended. Oh man. All right. Where is that? I was looking for something I wanted to show you guys.
It's over there, just behind you.
Oh yeah. No, it was one of those.
Oh! You get rid of the birds when Graham's here. When you come on my channel, it's fucking squawky squawk all the way through the fucking stream.
I told you if you didn't like it, I would mute him. No, I'm in my full setup.
I'd mute them.
Here.
That sounds dark.
Well, I do have to get rid of one of them pretty soon here because he's. Oh gosh, it's really quite irksome. But so okay, but anyway, Graham.
Went dark.
Graham, what happened to lead you to get into Comicsgate?
Well, I had left comics back in 2000 and started working in newspaper strips, and I was illustrating Rex Morgan, MD, and the Phantom for King Feature Syndicate, and I stayed with that for about 13 years. But it was soul sucking. There's no creativeness to it, and I had to get out or I was going to lose my mind. But when I got out, comics had changed quite a bit. And I found myself blacklisted from DC Comics because of eventually I found out because of politics, even though my politics never entered into my work at all because I wasn't a writer at DC. I mean, I did write stuff for DC and there was never any politics in that. But it just from, if you're out at a editorial lunch, I guess, when they start spouting off their bullshit, I'm not going to keep my mouth shut. I would, respectfully chime in and offer an opposing view. Well, if you do that, you got labeled, and I got labeled. And so I couldn't find anything at DC. Nobody would tell me this until I found out later on. Editors would come up to me and say, yeah, I wanted to offer, get you to do this project. And, Dan DiDio would tell them no.
Art, really quick. Art Hyde is here. He says the Phantom was strict, no creative input on the strip. Graham.
Oh, you have to understand, newspapers' format is strict. Yeah, I was the first artist to ever write the Phantom comic strip, because I wrote an entire Sunday storyline that ran half a year, because the regular writer Tony DePaul was in a bad motorcycle accident. So yeah, I mean, I could be as creative as I wanted there, as long as I, stayed within the boundaries of, who the Phantom was and all that. But the restrictions come in the format. A Sunday strip has to be formatted certain ways. You have 3 tiers, and your breaks in the panels have to happen in certain spots, because various newspapers cut them up and format them for their pages specifically. So, you can't have, this wonderful panel where somebody's busting out of it, because they're going to cut it up and rearrange it. So that kind of stuff was very restrictive. And on Rex, it was just boredom. 3 weeks of them every day, 7 days a week, sitting around a table talking, because everything moves so glacially slow.
Yeah.
And I finally got to the point where I would take panels that I had done of, say, Rex talking on a phone, or dialing a cell phone, or drinking a glass of wine, or something like that, stuff that kept repeating itself, and I would just stat it and drop it in, because the readers didn't give a shit.
There's only so many ways you can draw.
And King Creature certainly didn't give a shit.
They never said anything to you about that?
Half of the industry used to do that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I do remember that there were, I read the Spider-Man weekly comic. I don't remember who drew it. I was way too young at the time, but it was always the last panel of this week was the first panel of next week. And it was like, okay, I only get one new panel, or I guess 2 new panels every week. Crazy. So you were coming out of all of that, and you figured out, I guess people telling you eventually you figured out you were blacklisted. So then what was it? How did you find out about Comicsgate and get involved?
Well, that was sort of a circuitous route there, because Chuck had called me, because he was working on a project with Sylvester Stallone and your boy Zach for The Expendables Go to Hell. Chuck was writing it with Stallone, and Zach was going to crowdfund it. And so that was the first time I was really involved in no, I take that back. I was approached by Ominous Press to do Return to Monster Island, and for them to republish my original Monster Island. That was the first crowdfunding experience I had. They used Kickstarter for that. And then when that project was over, that's when I did the one with Chuck and Stallone and Zach. And I saw, that, this is a viable way of getting your work done, because that worked out pretty good. And so I decided, well, I was going to try and do something like that on my own, crowdfund. And I figured, well, I didn't want to dive into the superhero genre. I'd played in that sandbox a long time. And I figured, well, my first love is monsters. So and monsters are bulletproof when it comes to, this is 2020. So we're in the heart of the pandemic. And whenever things are bad like that, monster stuff always does well. So I figured that would be a good one to lead with. So I did the Chenoo, and crowdfunded that on my own for the first time. And then Billy was telling me, you should talk to Ethan because he's part of this thing called Comicsgate, and to see if he'll promote your work. So, I talked to him and found out, we shared many similar values about what, we think comics should be or should not be, or, what people will or will not let you do. And just that in itself is bad. And so that's exactly how I got in.
Awesome. Well, we're very, very happy to have you here. I speak as if I was here before you. I wasn't. So it's awesome for you to be here. It's awesome
Patrick,
to be a part of this, you know?
Yeah, Patrick welcomes you, Graham.
Yeah. You know, I put my seal of approval on you being here in Comicsgate.
Thank you. I'm finally in. I'm finally in.
Accepted.
That came out, and I was like, I sounded like such a douchebag saying that. Sorry.
No worries.
Can I ask you a question, Graham? Because
go ahead.
A couple of things came up that you mentioned with regards to character design and like influences. And obviously with Bane, the design is like a wrestler, right? He looks like a wrestler. So are you a fan of wrestling? Like were you into WWF back in the 80s? Like, or no, not.
No, I really wasn't. I mean, I wrestled and lettered in wrestling in high school.
Oh, really? Oh,
yeah.
okay.
So
you did the actual thing,
the real wrestling.
Wrestling.
Wow. Yeah.
And because of that, I knew where Bane was going to be raised, and we had to give him an obligatory costume just because of branding and all that kind of stuff. My thoughts were, you know, if he was going to be exposed to any kind of costuming, it might be from the luchador thing because he was in a Spanish-speaking area and all that. You know, in the fictional island that he was in. So that's where I based it off of. Plus, because of his muscularity and stuff, the singlet look, I thought it was kind of cool to show off all that stuff. I put the hair on his shoulders because all those guys were taking steroids, and the roids of the day, you know, would make you pimply and hairy. And in fact, I used to draw the pimples on them too. I still do. Chest,
Nice.
Really?
from the roids. So yeah, so that was the real impetus for it.
But your knowledge of wrestling came from your own history of doing it yourself.
Yeah, I had to wear the singlet.
Yeah. No, I mean, it had to come from somewhere because I know that even the Phantom, his design looks like a wrestler, right?
Well, his design goes back to 1933, I think.
Jeez.
Yeah, he predates all the costumed heroes.
Speaking of old comics, are there any IPs that are going to be going soon, or rather, you know, like within the next 10 years into public domain that you want to tell a story with?
There's Superman and Batman. Superman will be coming in I think 2036. I think that's when it is.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. It's a way off. It's like 10 years or so.
Yeah, it's another 10 years off. You know, I'll be 73 then. I don't know that I'm gonna have the energy to do anything like that. But
yeah, you might do it for fun.
Yeah, you never know.
You know.
Well, you got what's his name? It's escaping my head right now. The guy who does Bronze Star. I mean, he's doing some of his best work right now, and he's
Pat. Yeah,
he's kind of up there. You know,
Pat's probably 10 years older than me, so yeah, he's probably about 73.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Public domain stuff. Next year, we've got the likenesses of Karloff and Lugosi dropping for us.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, there's going to be a heyday on that.
Universal Dracula and Frankenstein both go public domain next year.
I thought the families own those rights.
Just those movies, apparently. Yeah, it's got to be within the bounds of those movies.
I
mean, they're both public domain stories anyway, but so.
Oh, the stories are, yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, apparently, yeah, Dracula 1931 and Frankenstein 19. Forgot it.
It's 31 also.
Yeah. Well, it would be, because they're both going public. Yeah. So
I would love to see you do Fantastic Four, Graham. I've seen a lot of like you drawing them, and it's like a perfect art style for them. I'd love to see that, and I'm sure you'd like to write it too. What do you think about that, or would you rather have somebody else write it?
Oh, I would love to take a shot at a Fantastic Four, mini series, write and illustrate it. You know.
Did you ever get any work from Marvel for that?
Yeah, they had a Marvel Adventures line, and I did a couple Fantastic Four covers for them, and I did an interior story as well.
What was that? Because I want to read that. I was like looking around and I couldn't find anything.
It was a Fantastic Four Marvel Adventures. What number?
They
were in the 30s.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna write that down. No, I'm obviously a huge Fantastic Four, and I want to read everything that there is. And now that I know you have an interior story, that's fantastic.
Fantastic.
Yeah. Whoops.
I missed the start of the stream. Did you talk about horror movies yet? Anything like that?
Only a little bit, but I'm sure you could expound upon it a little bit.
I'm just wondering, because I know obviously Graham's a huge horror guy. What are you looking forward to movie-wise? Besides Frankenstein, because we all know about Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking forward to.
That looks incredible. But
yeah, it really
anything else? Anything else on the radar?
No, I don't know of anything else that's coming out that is interesting. I know Eggers is going to be doing a werewolf film next.
Yeah.
And so I'm kind of hopefully optimistic for that. I enjoyed his Nosferatu, and I liked his Witch.
I'd like the Witch. I wasn't a fan of Nosferatu.
No, you didn't like that?
No.
It was creepy.
I have a love-hate relationship with Eggers. I don't know. There's a bit of the film school weirdo to him. I don't know. There's something there that just. I'm trying not to go into a tirade about Nosferatu because I do, but I won't.
Well, the fundamental concept of Nosferatu is a bit strange. I found it a little bit uncomfortable, to be honest. I mean, it was just basically this chick who wanted to have an affair with Nosferatu. And then when you look at it that way, I'm like, why am I watching this?
Yeah, she sort of sent out a message, asking for a prayer, and it wasn't answered by God; it was answered by a devil, and that's how we got into her head, and that is really, what jump started the entire story. It's not very clear how that presentation, I don't think, which is I had to see it a couple times to get that, and in fact. I think somebody had to tell me on my 31 Days of Monsters show that's what what had happened, So
no, I agree. I mean, I think fundamentally that's what it is, and that's what I mean. That storyline is not something I'm interested. The film looks well made. Don't get me wrong. I'm not bashing it, but in terms of story, it's just something I'm not into.
Did you catch the other Nosferatu that came out last year? Because there was two that came out at exactly the same time.
Really?
The Eggers one, and Doug Jones, he was in Hellboy, and he's been in a bunch of stuff. Actor Doug Jones, he crowdfunded a remake of Nosferatu, a shot for shot remake.
Oh,
and the makeup is insanely. The makeup looks like the original, but just more detailed and freaky. It's literally a shot for shot. They even used some of the green screen techniques just to keep that vibe going of it being. It kind of looks cheaply made, but when you look at it, it's like that must have cost quite a bit to make. Actually, it's one of those deceptive ones. But yeah, check it out. I think it's free on Amazon. It was free almost straight away, I think.
Oh, really? Okay, I'm gonna write that one down. So Doug Jones was in it.
Doug Jones, yeah. He played. What's the creature from the Bottle Lagoon character from Hellboy?
He was in The Shape of Water too, wasn't he? That character?
Did he play? Yeah, he might have done.
I thought he played that character too, but I know the one you're talking about.
Shape of Water. You're right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Pan's Labyrinth, Hellboy. Yeah. Hocus Pocus. Okay. And the Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer, of course.
Wow. We got
go.
Baki Javirist. I think that's how it's pronounced. Javirist. Hello, Baki. Thanks for being here. Oh, and Skeleton Core Comics. Hail Commandos and Graham. Hail chat. Listening while I get my weekly groceries. Very nice.
All right.
Awesome. Nice to see you, Skell.
Eggs and bread. That's all you need. And apple juice. You can get out.
Get some steak.
And beer.
Oh, yeah. I forgot. Yeah. Steak and beer. Can't forget about those.
Yeah.
So here,
2 food groups.
Oh yeah, there's my cover. One of my covers.
Is this? It looks kind of like they're wearing their ultimate costumes. Is that?
It was whatever they were wearing in that series at that time.
Okay. What year was this? Do you remember?
Early 2000s, I want to say. Like.
So okay, yeah. Then it very much was inspired
204,
by that.
202, somewhere around there.
Okay. How would you like to be the Thing right now?
Yeah. Well, why do you think he's smiling?
Right. Very cool. Thanks for sharing that, Frederick. What a beautiful cover. I love that. Classic. You have the classic, it's like inspired by a Kirby kind of style that is like, it's just my favorite kind of, like, I love seeing that combined with these characters. Sometimes you get, I don't know, like there's some people whose style I don't like very much. Like the guy who was doing work for Jonathan Hickman, who I really don't like at all in the way he writes the Fantastic Four. But whoever was doing he's a good artist, but it was too like ultra realism, and it kind of took away from the fantasy of the Fantastic Four. That the kind of like, it's just wild and wacky to a degree.
Yeah. High adventure.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I love this kind of stuff.
Yeah, and the Thing is, there's not a lot of people that can get the Thing right outside of Kirby. He and Superman, the Thing and Superman are two of the hardest characters to draw because they're very idiosyncratic. You can't just draw a strong man and put an S on him and call him Superman. He has a very specific look that most artists miss. But the good ones, guys like Kurt Swan, Garcia Lopez, John Bogdanov, they get it. They get that look. And the Thing is one of those characters also that's very hard. If you want to keep him really on model, you really got to understand. First of all, he's not the Hulk. He's not 12 feet tall.
Right.
Ben Grimm is 5'10".
Yeah. That's the biggest mistake I see people make. They're like, he's a strong guy, so therefore he's the tallest member of the group.
Right.
And it's like, no, Reed should be the right, because it also shows you that Reed's the leader as well, kind of like a little unconscious kind of thing. Who do you no pun intended? Who do you like outside of Jack Kirby? Who do you think does Thing the best? Outside of Jack Kirby and yourself, who do you think does Thing the best?
John Romita did a great Thing. He didn't do a lot of it. But when he took over for Kirby for a few issues there, and he did a great job. John Buscema always does a good one too, although the face isn't quite right. Byrne did a good one, but he changed things too. But nobody beats Kirby. Yeah. For me, it's just he has that sense of humor. He has that. The shape is consistent, I just love it.
His facial expressions no one gets the facial expressions as well as Kirby.
Well, I was going to say it's mainly in the face, right? Because in terms of embodying his character, I mean, the body, right? Most people can pull off, but the face, you need that stern brow, but still being heroic, right?
Yeah. Speaking of the brow, Graham, how did you feel when in Michael Chiklis's version of the Thing, that the costume they gave him?
Well, it was disappointing. The costume. If they had the technology to do the Thing from this last Fantastic Four movie, and they put him in Rise of the Silver Surfer, it would have been the best FF movie ever.
Yes.
Rise
I'm
of the
glad
Silver
you
Surfer
say
is
that.
a good FF movie.
Yeah. Everybody shits on it, and they say it's a terrible movie, and it's really not. Especially when
Galactus is the other problem.
Yeah,
you got to get the Thing design and the Galactus design, and throw that into Rise of the Silver Surfer, and you've got the greatest FF movie.
Yeah. Jessica Alba was a little, but I don't
mind her.
She's not the worst choice, especially, and
she's better than the one in the latest movie with her implants and her that wacky face.
So Graham, I did see your reviews of the newest movies. I know that you're not a fan of the newest Superman movie, right?
Terrible.
Yeah,
terrible.
And
agreed.
But boy, I put an opinion out there and I tear up the internet.
Dude.
Well, yeah, no, apparently.
That's why I don't.
You're obviously a purist when it comes to Superman, right? And so I understand how the new movie it doesn't live up to the original.
No, I didn't judge the movie on how well Superman was portrayed as far as like whether it was a purist or not. I judge it on its storytelling. Are you interesting me in the story? The Christopher Reeve movie doesn't get Superman exactly right, but that's a great movie because they tell the story, a good story, and the character is consistently good. They seem to get the personality of Superman. This one, Superman whines through the whole fucking movie. He gets his ass beat too. He's not a heroic character by any means. He's disrespected by everybody in this movie.
It's true. No, I agree with you, and I feel like that's the biggest weakness of that movie.
Yeah, I
would love to see you draw a new Superman book like that. I feel like that's what we need. Like Superman needs someone like you to draw a new book because it would revive the original intention of the character.
I did a Superman book called The Odyssey.
Odyssey, yeah.
Yeah, and I wrote that with Chuck, and I wanted to tell the story of Superman, of Clark Kent basically leaving the farm and what was his life like. When did he discover certain things? What was it like the first time he was shot? Imagine that. You can lift a tractor over your head. You're a strong guy, but it's a very different thing to be shot. And that was one of the scenes I put in that book, which I thought was really, really cool.
I want to say hello to some people here. We got Sleeping Psychopathy. What's up, Jamie? Thanks for being here. It is really early. She said she really liked the Superman movie too. She's not happy that you guys don't like it. And we've got Katie Did. What's up, Katie? Hope you had a good show this morning.
Hey, Katie. Hi,
Katie.
Sleeping.
You can come and join us tonight or today if you're willing to behave yourself. But I'm not a Superman guy. I've not really read much of any Superman. I always thought he was kind of lame.
Yeah, we need to kick Patrick. Kick yourself off the stream.
But I took my brother and my dad to go see it, and they had a good time. And I thought it was a James Gunn movie. His movies are funny and enjoyable and lighthearted for the most part. But like I said, I'm not a Superman fan, so I can't be, and I'm not the guy who's like, oh, well, this should have been this way. And I just like
to throw everything at the screen. I mean, that was my problem with the Superman movie. Just you don't need everything in there. Not everything has to happen in one movie. It doesn't have to be a million things going on at once. Yeah.
It's Superman. Like when he agrees to be arrested, they manhandle him and he doesn't do anything about it. They smash his face into it. They throw him. And they really, really disrespect him. In the Man of Steel movie, which is not a great movie either, he got arrested because he let them arrest him because he's Superman. And then when he had enough, he went and busted out the, and then I can see you in there and all this kind of stuff. He's letting them know that I'm a good guy, but I can fuck you up if I want to.
I'm letting you do this.
Yes, I am allowing you to do this. So treat me with respect. If you're going to bring me as part of the law, because Superman follows the law, I will go with you, but you're not going to throw me to the ground and smash my face into the concrete, even though it might not hurt me. I couldn't stand that.
Yeah. I even just when someone throw a rock at him or a can or something, bounces off the back of his head, I'd just catch it and crush it and drop it. Anything, just to show that.
Turn and melt it with your X-ray, your heat vision. Because your super speed just goes zip.
Well, that was one of the things I commented about the movie. We reviewed it on this channel, where if you grew up as Superman and you have these powers, it's like you're not going to react to things in life the same way as a normal person would. You know, you have the power to obliterate anything in front of you. And even in terms of controlling your emotions, you're not going to get emotional over petty things because you know that you have the power. And so you're right. Overall, in this movie, the emotional state of Superman is what killed it, because it's not really believable. If you grew up as Superman, you're not going to be reacting to things the way he did in that movie.
That talk with Lois was probably can you imagine if you're Lois and then like a guy who could breathe out like forcefully and kill you, he starts yelling at you? That'd be terrifying.
It's like, yeah, well, that's it. He yells every time he gets upset. You know, it's the public doesn't see it, but we see it, and we're the public, and so we think, well, no wonder they don't trust this guy. He's a hothead, with all this power. There's no control on this guy.
Yeah, unbalanced.
Yeah.
Oh, Katie, I'm sorry you're feeling bad. Hopefully you feel better soon. I'm glad you're able to get through your show. We've got Wrangler here. Superman has got to be one of the Hail and Ola, Wrangler. Thanks for being here, man. Superman has got to be one of the toughest characters to write for, considering his limits or lack thereof.
It's Denny O'Neil. When he was writing Superman back in the early 1970s, and they changed, it was the new look, they called it. Not the new look, that was Batman. It was Superman 1971. They were revamping, they're depowering him. They took away the kryptonite, and they had the sand creature that sucked some of his strength away and stuff. So they were trying to depower Superman. And Denny was writing the stuff, and I asked Denny, what that was like, and he said he hated writing Superman. He just didn't get the character, but he wrote some of the best Superman stories ever. That was such a great run. And then, of course, after a while, they started ramping up his powers again, where he could blow out a sun with his breath and all that nonsense. But Superman in the beginning was so great. He had this righteous indignation. He had no problem about throwing a guy out a window. 6 miles out a window. I like that Superman that was not couldn't move worlds, but and I like when Superman's the only Superman. I think that's when he's unique. Like in the Adventures of Superman show, there's only one Superman. There's no other superheroes on the planet, and that makes him special and unique and interesting to me.
Graham, let me ask you briefly.
Yeah.
What did you think of All-Star Superman by Grant Morrison?
I didn't read
I thought you didn't. So you haven't read it? You don't know what it's about? Okay. I guess that's the answer.
You're like,
so I got no plot.
I guess that answers that question. Okay. All right. Well, I liked it. I liked it.
Okay. Oh, good.
How did you feel, Graham, about the Henry Cavill movies? There's lots of people, everybody's got different. Obviously, you don't like the new one. What do you think about the other ones?
Henry Cavill, I thought, was going to be the greatest Superman actor ever, but they gave him really bad scripts and nothing to do. Man of Steel, there's some good stuff in there, as I said, but there's also some idiotic stuff. The fact that, he allows the city to be completely destroyed, hundreds of thousands of people getting killed during their battles. He kills somebody, he kills, what's his name?
Zod.
General Zod. Yeah. I don't like that. I didn't like that when Byrne did it. Superman's above that. And letting his father die was the stupidest thing I'd ever heard of.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's a tornado coming. Why doesn't Clark just run out to the truck in normal speed? Now he's on the other side of the truck. He lays over his father, protects him with his invulnerable body. And then when the tornado goes by, it's a miracle. We survived. The tornado missed us. That happens all the time in real life. He didn't have to let him die. I thought that was so stupid.
There's people who will defend that, though. They will argue till they're blue in the face about why. Oh, it was totally necessary for him to watch his old man die.
It was not.
Okay,
no.
It was.
No.
You know what was more heartbreaking is when Glenn Ford was jogging with his son after giving him a pep talk, and then he holds his arm and drops dead from a heart attack.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's nothing you can do about that.
That was heartrending at the time, and for Clark and for the audience to watch, and that John Williams music and everything. That was great.
And I've got a couple people I'd like to say hello to. We got Tenkage. What's up, Tenkage? How you doing, man? Hail Commandos, he says. And then we got Dennis Rodriguez. Wait, Man of Steel. What is that one? Thanks for being here, Dennis. Nice to see you, man. Superman Returns. How about that one?
Oh,
you remember that?
Yeah, no.
Best
scene is when he gets shot in the eyeball and it bounces off.
Yeah, that was cool.
That you can turn it off.
Yeah, the intro was cool.
Yeah. When he grabbed the plane too, that was cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You didn't like Lex Luthor's actor though?
No. Kevin, I used to like Kevin Spacey. Turned out to be a perv.
Yeah, he got weird.
Yeah.
He got weird later on. Yeah.
Do you guys have that problem?
Then he just got caught later on.
Oh yeah. Do you have that problem where you find out about an actor, you find out all the devious things they're up to, and then you just can't watch anything with them in it anymore?
Yeah.
That's most of Hollywood, to be honest.
It's true.
Yeah.
Was it?
Yeah, it really
Brandon?
is.
What's his name? Brandon Routh.
Routh, yeah.
Brendan Ruth, yeah.
Yeah. He's a handsome dude, but I don't know if he was Superman. I don't know if he's quite. I don't know.
Bryan Singer gave him those gay trunks too, the super low riders.
The
tiny S on the chest. It was just there was a vibe. Let's just leave it at that.
Yeah.
Bryan Singer got caught too, so
exactly.
That's probably why what's his face got the job as Luthor.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me.
Oh, they're all in it together.
Yeah. It's all incestuous in Hollywood like that. It's like, you scratch my back or you scratch my something and I'll scratch yours.
Yeah.
I actually surprised myself. My old man and I watched Hancock the other night.
Oh, yeah.
And it's actually kind of a fun movie. It's an enjoyable movie. It would not be released today, considering some of the things that were said in it. But Will Smith, it's like it's hard to watch. Even like Independence Day, it's hard to watch now.
Oh yeah, now that he went off the rails.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's still a good movie though. Fun movie. I highly doubt that the technology, Earth technology could create a virus to destroy a computer virus to destroy an alien ship and invasion. But
right.
Oh yeah.
With a floppy disk and
You can't even get a PC to sync up with a Mac, and yet they're taking a computer to alien technology.
To their defense, that was not a PC. That was an alien ship that was compatible with a Mac.
Of course it is.
Right.
I feel like there's a limit to how many movies a huge star should be in before it's like it's too much. Like Tom Hanks is another example. He's in so many big movies where it's like now you can't watch a new Tom Hanks movie. Will Smith is another one, and maybe Tom Cruise.
They're welcome, huh?
Yeah, exactly. I'm not like I can't watch the movie and not think about you. Maybe 20 movies is like the limit, and just like save your money and stop making movies.
Mel Gibson, I'm like that with him. It's like every time I watch a Mel Gibson, it's just it's a Mel Gibson film.
Well, he stopped and then he started directing, which is that was a good move.
I'll go see any Mel Gibson movie. I love that guy.
That one where he played Santa Claus, awesome. Awesome. Was that a couple of years ago? Wasn't it 2 or 3 years ago? Yeah,
I agree with you, Corbin, and they should call it the Pedro Pascal law.
Yeah.
Now there's a guy I'll actively avoid.
Yeah. Ooh, that was the biggest. I was defending it before Fantastic Four came out. I was like, he's a good actor because he's got some acting chops. Yeah. But I was like, we'll see how it goes. and this is what I would say is like, honestly, for me, I'm sorry, I'm bringing it back to Fantastic Four, but we're talking about Pedro Pascal as well. The biggest flub for that movie for me was The Thing. The actor was the wrong choice. The character was not at all like he is ever in any situation. I was okay with Reed being kind of, beaten down and kind of like losing his mind because there's nothing he can do to stop this threat. That was like, I was like, okay, we can.
Beta male.
Very beta.
I was okay with the concept that he was in a really tough situation, although it doesn't work when you've never shown him being the alpha. So that was the biggest complaint I'd have about Pedro Pascal.
Well, there was no "it's clobbering time" moment in that movie.
Right.
So it's like these movies you're waiting for the big scene and it just gives you blue balls.
Mm-hmm.
It's you don't get it. He never does anything. We see him tow a bust through a couple pillars and tow a boat. Whoopee-doo. They introduce a girlfriend to him that goes nowhere. So that plot point goes nowhere. We got Johnny, who is figuring out things on a record player. In this, but they have a star drive that can go faster than light, and he's got to play a record player. It's just all this idiocy that didn't get thought through in that movie that drives me really crazy. And then the big save of the world would be to transport the world and the moon, because you have to take the moon, otherwise the world won't be right. And transport it, and his technology is such that he's able to make an egg go from here to here. That ought to work.
Yeah, that was when they got a little silly.
There should have been like the long form plan. How it always, they're like, oh, they're down in the dumps, they're about to lose, but Reed unveils that he's had this other plan, Bacon, this whole time. Like how they're always like, what are you doing? And he's like, I'm working on stuff. I'll be with you in a minute. And you don't know what he's working on until the very end when they reveal it.
Mm-hmm.
That's what should have happened there. But I think they were focusing too much on, they wanted to bring this whole Johnny Shala Ball thing, which was just like, it didn't work.
Useless piece of plot.
Yeah. If it had been Nova, that could have worked. That she started off as not, Nova, and then Galactus decides to make her his herald. And they could have worked that in some way.
You're right.
But like I said, I think the biggest downfall of that movie, and it could have been really good even with all the things that you guys have said about it, was that the Thing was a non-entity. He wasn't a character. He's like a cartoon character so that they can sell toys with that imagery. Yeah,
they didn't use him at all.
There's nothing to him.
They didn't bring his personality in.
Yeah.
Oh, what's his biggest thing? Making the spaghetti sauce?
Yeah.
I was going to say, yeah.
And you know what that is? All that is a way to get all of these, middle-aged wine moms who are obsessed with the Bear show to be like, oh, yeah, because he's the actor from the Bear. Oh, that's funny. Tomato sauce.
I didn't even know where that guy was from.
Yeah,
He's the core of it is this, and I give them credit because at least they tried to inject a little bit of romance. But clearly, to make something successful, you need to bring in female audience and the male audience, right?
Mm-hmm.
To maximize. With the female audience, you need romance. You need something to be sexy and appealing. And with men, but with men, obviously, you need action. You need aggression. You need tough guys, and also
nudity,
sexiness from women. Yes,
so
it's hard
female nudity.
It's hard to pull off all of those in one shot, and that's the difficult. Which is why the '90s is the peak of media. I truly believe that the '90s pulled off sexiness and tough guys in film. You had action movie, and the '80s, maybe the '80s was the beginning of it. Tough guys in movies, guns, muscles, and hot women in bikinis.
Mm-hmm. And that's it. The '60s was probably the beginning of it, but
Yeah.
But the peak was the '80s to the '90s, though.
Yeah.
In terms of visual media, movies and comics. X-Men in the '90s was kind of like it hit the mark. Like, this looks great. The men are tough and muscular. The women are hot, and that's it.
You know what they should have done in that Fantastic Four movie is another stupid thing is Sue goes into space pregnant. There's no way, she's going to go off to meet Galactus pregnant. She shouldn't have been pregnant in the beginning, at least to the audience. And Galactus, when they go to meet Galactus, scans her because he can read the energy from the Franklin baby that's inside her. And that's how it's revealed that Reed and Sue were going to have a child. Galactus scans her and then that's what he needs. And so now they need to escape because they got to save the baby that they just found out they've got. And then you can take the story from there. But for her to go into space pregnant and give birth to the child there was anticlimactic and stupid.
Insane. And the fact that Reed was just let her do it, let her go into space while she's pregnant. It's like, Reed wouldn't do that. He'd be like, no,
he literally, it was just him and Ben and Johnny go into the negative zone to like help her because when she had issues with Franklin in the comics. So yeah, he literally was like, no, you're staying here. It's crazy.
Yeah, they had to get that thing from Annihilus or something.
Yeah. The cosmic control rod.
Yeah.
Annihilus, what a funny guy. I need my cosmic control rod. We got the squid here. Pedro Pascal was only good in Game of Thrones. Have you seen that, Graham? What happened to him in Game of Thrones?
No.
If I were you, I would type in Pedro Pascal Game of Thrones death scene, and I think you'll enjoy it. I think you'll enjoy it greatly.
Oh Lord.
It is
fantastic.
Yeah. When I first saw that, I literally exclaimed. I was like, "Oh!"
It's one of the most brutal moments.
They're going to cut away, but no, they kept going.
Cut away.
It's especially satisfying today with where Pedro Pascal has gone now.
Yeah.
Kind of watching.
Honestly, I think he sacrificed like a piece of his soul to Hollywood. Like,
oh yeah.
I have this theory where actors, when an actor like agrees to showing themselves dead on screen, right? Like their dead body on screen, that's kind of like, I don't know, man. Like I wouldn't do that.
Really?
Yeah, really, dude. Like, would you want this yourself to be on camera, like being shot in the head, like in the movie, even if it's just a movie? Like
someone's got to do
the
that.
image.
Someone's got. I think it'd be kind of funny to see myself.
I don't know, man. It's kind of like a curse. Like I think it's a curse.
That's completely wrecking horror movies. You can't do that. Horror movies.
Well, honestly, horror movies are kind of a curse. Horror movies are cursed.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah, they are, dude. They really are.
Carmen's gonna be like, horror movies are just about as good as anime.
Oh no, don't get me wrong. I like horror movies, but dude, have you seen Hereditary? That movie is a curse.
That is the most fucking awful, tedious bollocks movie that ever praises, and they love it, and it's elevated. It's fucking awful, and that woman in it, what's her name? That face.
Oh, I forgot her name.
I don't like Hereditary.
Whoa, tell us how you really feel, please. We got Grey Wolf here. He says, "Hiya, chat. What's up, Grey Wolf?" Oh man, there was that one. Yeah, Hereditary was one everybody was talking about, and then the other one they were talking about was Midsummer. Everybody was talking about Midsummer.
Midsummer wasn't.
Go ahead.
Midsummer was not as powerful as Hereditary because the imagery was like light and it was daytime.
Mm-hmm.
But actually, Midsummer was trying to spread a very destructive message of feminism and what's it called? Anti-men. What's that called? Misandry, right? Yeah,
misogyny. Misogyny.
No, misogyny is against women. I'm talking about misandry is against men.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So the movie was anti-men.
Oh,
yeah.
I hate it already.
Kamikaze says Tony Collette. I think that's who
from Hereditary. Yeah. Dude, I saw that movie, and for 3 days I was like in a funk after seeing that. I was just like, I need to fucking go on vacation, like after seeing this.
Yeah, there are movies like that. I'm trying to think of what there was one that I saw that some movie and I was just like, I don't want to watch movies or do anything. Like I just wanted to sit around and do nothing. It was so
depressing. It happened
depressing.
to me once, and I'm not saying what the movie is because it's one of the worst, most horrible movies ever made.
It's probably a remake of one of your favorite movies, I'd imagine.
Oh no! Don't get me started on things like that. No. And it's not American Werewolf in Paris. That movie is an abortion and an abomination and an affront to movie making. But no, it's called a Serbian film. Watch it if you dare. Don't watch it. Don't fucking watch it.
Yeah, I've seen that. You know, it's funny how different things affect other people differently. Like that affected you. To me, I laughed at it. Like a Serbian film. I thought it was like
I just sat in a dark room for at least an hour wondering what I'd done with my life.
What is it about?
It is dark, but it didn't affect me as much because I thought it was silly. But basically, it's the most depraved sexuality that can occur. Like, think of every worst thing that can happen sexually happens in this movie. And that's why, to me, when I saw it, I was like, I'm not bothered by this. Like, I think it's just silly.
That would probably really bother me. I don't like that, and I don't like things with kids. I can't, like the beginning of It. I don't know if you guys have seen that.
Well, you won't like a Serbian film then.
Okay, yeah, hard pass then. Yeah, I can't do that. We got Grogu here. He says, Patrick Twinklin, you stream at the weirdest times now. Well, we're trying to get awesome guests on, man. Sometimes you gotta change the schedule around. And he also says, I got my Vasily cover today. Perfect. Fantastic. Thanks for backing, man. I appreciate it. And we got Flatey down here. He says, Dog Soldiers, Spoon, Balls of British Steel. Are those are all movies, I suppose? I've never heard of it.
Dog Soldiers.
Dog Soldiers.
Yeah.
That's
It's
the
a
werewolf
werewolf
movie. Yeah.
Oh.
With the military dudes it's good.
Yeah.
Really good.
British guys, British military guys. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. There was that. I don't know if you guys watch. What is it called? Love, Death, and Robots on Netflix. There's some pretty cool. It's like an anthology where sometimes they've got IPs from like video games or all kinds of things, and they tell different stories. There was one where it was like in Afghanistan with the U.S. military, but they had like special units that were werewolves. It was kind of interesting. Some pretty cool stories in there.
Sounds pulpy.
Mm-hmm.
We got Clean Risk here. He says Eden Lake is a great feel-bad horror. Hello.
Oh God, yeah.
Clean Risk is actually one of my brothers. Hello, Joseph. How are you? Thanks for being here, man.
Eden Lake's great.
Graham, can I ask you something I wanted to ask so far?
Sure.
Right now we got Chanu 77, right? And in terms of continuing your IPs, like, can we get a preview of what's coming in the future next year? What you got planned next couple of years?
Yeah, I'm working on. Well, there's going to be some omnibuses coming up. But then, as far as new stuff, I'm actually going to dip my toe into a superhero story, which I said I never was going to do. But I wanted to. If I was going to do it, I wanted to do something different that hasn't been done. And so I give him a purple suit, which I think is kind of cool and cosmic and yet earthbound. And I'm exploring it now. I still got a lot of work to do in it, but that is something that I'm going to do. And I want to do more Two-Fisted Manly Tales. I'm thinking of doing a quarterly book and getting artists to come in and do stories and like maybe 2 stories in a book and then pop it out like a couple times a year,
Dude, I'm telling you, man, that's one of the greatest titles.
It really is.
Two-Fisted
Manly Tales.
Giant size.
Yes, the giant size is that's the icing on the cake.
Yeah.
Now I'm excited to hear that, man, Graham, because superheroes, I feel like that's your forte, obviously. But but I truly do feel that way because your personality just kind of lends towards that. And like I said earlier, like it'd be great to see a new Superman made by you. Obviously, it might not happen. Probably wouldn't happen, but something that's like a suit.
They can't afford him anymore. But
a superhero by you, I feel like is very needed.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I hope it works out. I hope I can get it to all come together for it.
Mm-hmm.
So Yeah, I got some other things too, cooking in the back of my head. I usually got a ton of stuff, and I have to sift through them and rethink them and think about, okay, is there a market for this? And if there's not, I put it aside. Who's my market for this, and are they following me right now? And that's stuff that goes into it too. It's nice to have a vanity project, but if you can't sell it, then it's not worth it.
Do you have any plans on like working with a different writer, or are you going to write it all?
No, Compass Comics is for me primarily to publish my own stuff. However, like in the case of like Two-Fisted Manly Tales, yes, I will have writers and artists do stories for that.
Yeah,
that I will publish, and I'll do stories as well for it. But not all of them.
Let's see here. Grogu says, "Does Shanu get a belt at the end?"
A belt, like to put around his waist, or a punch in the face?
A utility belt.
Oh, a utility belt. I see. I was thinking a regular belt as well. Like, what? He doesn't have pants. What do you need a belt for?
Chewbacca.
Somebody must have seen my notes.
It's all coming out. Alien Alamo sequel?
No. Other than the fact that the boy, James Houston, has grown up. We saw him at the end of Alien Alamo, and he is also the guy in charge of the Lazarus Corporation that runs the MM1 down in the Florida Keys. That's key to the Joe Frankenstein role. Well, if you haven't read those books, I just gave out a spoiler there, folks. But James Colonel Houston was James in Alien Alamo, and he is in charge of collecting all these creature feature things and storing them in MM1.
That's perfect. Now, is that inspired by like have you seen Cabin in the Woods?
I have.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what it reminded me of.
Yeah, I wasn't thinking of it in terms of that. I was thinking of it in terms of like a repository, a collection, because Mr. Lazarus, who is the Frankenstein monster, funds all this shit. He's had 300 years to collect and make money, and he owns corporations throughout the world under that banner. So he's got connections everywhere. So he, that organization run by James Houston is part of that. So so it's fun. I'm trying to keep my universe together, tangentially, but not necessarily completely, where everybody crosses over. But I had my couple from Ghost of Matacumba Key show up at the end of Joe Frankenstein 3. And Joe and the monster and that crew showed up at the end of Ghost of Matacumba Key. So, I'm tying those two properties into a story that we'll eventually work through in the Joe Frankenstein series.
Here's a question I have for you. Are we going to get this legendary guy back?
Oh, the Hypnosaur?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, right. It's amazing.
You
can hear the sound effect,
Yeah.
You could tell you're an old school horror dude. Old school horror. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
To see everything you do, just little bits in there. It's like, man.
Yeah.
Universal Monster style stuff.
Yeah, definitely. And we Escape from Monster Island will be fun, fulfilling shortly. That's Return, and then the third one, the final one, is Escape. Yeah, and that one is, I think, the best of the three, and that'll be fulfilling. We're running a little bit late, but it's at the printer, and that the printing delivery got pushed back a little bit because we're going to pair it up with my Sunshine State book so that they all deliver together. It'll be cheaper that way. So it just be a little bit longer. I just asked my backers for a little more patience, but it'll be worth it because it's going to be an incredible book. You'll really, really enjoy.
Well, you're one of those people who I don't know, it's like 2-3 months after the campaign ends, the book's in people's hands. I don't think anybody's going to be worried about, are we going to get it even are we going to get it in a reasonable time? Yeah, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah. The Chinook 77 is going to even ship sooner than some of the other ones. You know, I want people to have that in June for a specific reason, because in July 4th is the 250th anniversary of America, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there's going to be a lot of big celebrations, and I want to do a Chinook 1776 story where the Chinook is at the Battle of Trenton, which is, you know, where Washington went across the Delaware in the freezing cold.
Mm-hmm.
And so, you know, when he gets there, he's going to find some of these Hessians are already fucked up, you know, because the Chinook was there first.
Right. They'll look around and they'll be like, oh, the savages must have got to them.
Yeah, this is a pretty easy battle, boys.
Yeah, right. Well, yeah.
That sounds awesome. I mean, I would love to see the artwork of the, you know, the original revolutionary uniforms and everything.
Yeah, well, that's to be the fun part, you know, to
Yeah.
set it back there and draw these guys in Revolutionary War outfits and muskets and fighting the Chinook. So that's going to be a stretch goal that will add those like an 8-page story for that, and then there'll be a variant cover that'll reflect the main cover, but instead of the guy holding the baby, there'll be a guy with a musket, you know, with the same thing, you know.
Nice,
dude. You need you know the classic painting of, you know, Washington crossing the Delaware. You need that wraparound cover with the Chinook in there.
Right?
Yeah,
that's not a bad idea either.
Almost that, man. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. Or at least
got
a splash
that.
page. At least a splash page inside of that.
I've got that painting on our wall in our dining room.
Oh, nice.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah,
there you go.
I'll just stand there and sketch it, you know.
Right.
Yeah, man. Yeah. And then just stick the Chinook in there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do the water a bit frozen and stuff, you know. Sorry, you do it. You do it. I'm not. That sounds awesome.
You're getting excited there, Peter. You need to calm down.
Feeling cool ideas, Peter.
It's got to be done.
Sleeping Psychopathy says, I love the hope that comes through in Graham's stories. It's just nostalgic.
Well, I believe in hope, you know. Without hope, you know, hope is part of humanity, you know. Gets us through.
Well, we got so much negativity and you know, deconstructionism going on in the mainstream, and in, you know, even not in the mainstream, even in independent comics. There's so much deconstructionism and just like nihilism, but people consider it realism.
Yes.
You know, and it's just like, can we not? And maybe I'm not the person to be talking about this because my book's kind of dark, but it's like, you know, we've got to have somebody who's doing these stories where there is that hope just inherent in it.
You can have,
well, if anything,
drama, you know, but you can still have hope at the end. You know, there's nothing wrong with a it doesn't have to be a happy ending, but it has to be a hopeful ending. You know.
Well, if anything, I was going to say that's kind of the purpose of comics. You know, these heroic tales are about expressing hope, you know, expressing these tales that inspire people. You know, these superheroes that have become worldwide icons, they're kind of our modern mythological figures. You know, our new Hercules, our new Achilles, and all these people, you know, that have inspired people in the past. And so, hope is at the core of it. And that's why, at the end of the day, dark stuff that's too negative, that's too dark, it's going to die out because people don't want to latch onto that. They want somebody that's going to, you know, somebody that's going to keep them going.
Just keep digging that hole. Keep digging that hole. There's nothing wrong with dark, twisted, evil, nasty.
Yeah, there you
scary,
go.
Terrifying.
Yeah.
That's what the world
I like that comment by Clean Risk, though. To its roots.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. The mythology of heroism. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, certainly American superhero comics. I mean, comics as an art form can be anything. You know, you can do any kind of story with comics. It's just a medium for telling stories. In America, superhero comics are pretty much, you know, the bread and butter of the industry. But in Europe, there's, you know, and in Japanese comics, they do comics about trout fishing, for God's sake. They've got
What, really?
they got something for everybody. And a lot of my criticisms come primarily because we're talking about superhero comics, which is basically heroic entertainment. We're originally for children, and I think we forget that, and to have that sense of wonder in the comics, but I don't put any restrictions on other types of comics. I'm just more critical of the superhero stuff, trying to be something that it's not.
Just it should stay in its lane. You're saying?
Yeah. Well, bend the lane, but don't break the lane.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I blame the boys.
Yeah, the boys, and there was another one recently. What's it
Invincible?
called? Invincible. Both of those.
Yeah.
Now that you say that, that's what it was. I watched the season, what is it? Season 2 of The Boys or whatever. And that was the last one. That was a while ago, obviously. But, watching the finale, and it was after that, it was just like, it just kind of like scrapes your soul and like scrapes all the like positivity that you have for the future out of it. And you're just like, oh God. Okay. So these people they all suck and they're all evil and there's nobody who's actually really good. So why do I care about any of this? Cause like, I don't care who wins or not anymore. Now I'm just like, well, they all shitbags. So I hope they kind of kill each other off.
Yeah. I find that in a lot of John Carpenter films and Ridley Scott films that they're populated by characters you don't give a shit about. And that bothers me, with the exception of like Ripley. I didn't care if any of them got killed in Alien, I really didn't.
No.
Oh, I like the black guy. He was funny.
The black, that one.
Well, I was saying earlier,
I don't remember his name.
Koto.
The stories
like the
that
cat.
endure are going to be the ones that inspire you in a positive way, right? Because stories that we're talking about, you said nihilism, right? And where if you don't relate to any of the characters and they all just die and it's a bad ending, yeah, I mean, maybe you're entertained, but is that a story that's going to endure 100 years, right? Because what's going to push people forward? It's life, it's progress, right? So it's inspiring figures from the past. Those are the ones we'll remember, and those are the stories we'll remember.
We got Gray Wolf here. He says the superhero stuff has become lame. My stuff is historical horror fiction set in the 1930s.
Ban him from the chat.
Move it back to 1889, 1888.
Yeah.
Move it back to then, and then you're onto something.
Or move it even further back to 1526.
Yeah.
Yeah. River of Blood, by the way, that's a love story. It's a love story, ladies and gentlemen. And we're really excited to be presenting that to folks.
Don't listen.
Nice segue.
That's a great segue. You should pull it up.
Oh no, yeah, I am. Really quick, ladies and gentlemen, if you wouldn't mind, I'll post it in the link below. But Phenomenal Tales #2, River of Blood by yours truly, and with the art by the amazing Peter Gilmore here. We're very excited to be launching this on Halloween on Friday Night Frights, which is Peter's channel. With everybody on the channel, it's going to be a great time.
Just a few more people coming on as well.
Yeah, well, some people, I guess. No, I like to mess around with the guys on your channel. But please sign up below. And I mean, this is just a little bit sooner rather than later. You guys are going to see the FMC.
It's some
page.
trees.
Yeah, this is just a tease.
It's just
I love
Peter,
that's a beautiful.
Peter, I gotta say the art is looking awesome on this, man. Like, I'm psyched. Obviously, I'm gonna be getting it. I got all of Patrick's stuff, but this is, man, like it's sharp.
Mean, all the stuff that people have seen so far is done digitally. So I'm just on page 7 at the moment, which is it's like the first time the monster turns up. And I'm like, it's not finished, dude. I've literally got head and shoulders of the monster. You can see it. Yeah.
Wait, make him big. There we go. Ooh,
you're not going to get the detail. It's not going to get the
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's cool.
It might look like he's jerking off. He's not. He's ripping a dude in half.
It does.
See,
Oh, what is that?
Now it said
What
that,
is
I'm gonna stick in Patrick's head.
It looks like that now.
Oh my god!
Sorry, it's
Maybe
'cause
we
I've
should have
got-
waited for you to finish it.
I've got a red light on. There you go. That's why it's being weird.
It actually looked very cool with the red light as well.
No, that's really cool, man.
I thought you were working digitally,
is this-
Peter, because you're this. I thought you were working digitally. Are you kind of going back and forth between analog and digital?
Yeah, make me small again. Thank you. It like key pages and covers and stuff. I do traditionally because I can sell them.
There you go.
Make money.
Oh, there you go.
Money. Always do your key pages. Well, me personally, always do the key pages and stuff.
That
Traditionally.
makes sense. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, there's a couple of inset panels that are going on that page, but the actual traditional bit, I'm not putting the inset panels in. It's just going to be a nice piece of artwork that, you know, can auction off to someone or sell to someone or whatever.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's going to be very, very, very cool. Everything you guys are going to see about it.
What platform is that going to be on?
It's Fund My Comic.
Oh, Fund My Comic. Great. Okay.
Yeah.
Actually, do you guys mind? I would like to bring that
Do
Fund
it.
My Comic up here. 'Cause it's not completely done yet, obviously.
I mean, you've not done anything on Indiegogo, have you, Patrick? Have you done anything on that before? No. So you'd be a new creator, so you'd have to jump through all the hoops that they're doing.
Oh
at the
yeah,
moment.
I'm going through that now.
But that's
I'm
fun.
not
Oh,
gonna
it's
do that.
a friggin' headache. I'm trying to
Oh,
figure out, like
you
I have
do.
my sign up for Shinu 77, but I can't, and it got ported over to this new platform, and I can't find out where they are, where the sign up people are.
Wow. I mean, from what I gather, you have to submit all kinds of stuff like your passport and
Yeah. Well, I mean,
why? I don't know.
It could be a driver's license. Doesn't have to be a passport.
Oh, right. Just photo ID. sort of
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
Your photo ID. Huh. I guess that's for like to prevent scammers or something.
Yeah.
I mean, look, hey, if you want to get monetized on YouTube now, you've got to give them photo ID for your AdSense account. So they all want it. They just want your face and all your details, and
Yeah.
Oh, good thing I'm not monetized. We got River of Blood here. This is the work in progress FMC page. So obviously there's a lot more art here. This is going to be cover A over here. Very excited about that. Cover B is there's a stand-in right now. This is not going to be cover B, but we're going to have something else going on, which we'll reveal.
I mean, the artwork's okay. It'd be great for like a pulp novel or something, but it's not a comic cover. We both kind of never said anything, and then both said at the same time, yeah, let's not.
That, and since we're not using this as a cover, I feel okay saying after looking at it long enough, you realize the giant
Patrick's got a dirty mind. Patrick's got a dirty
butt
mind.
naked, and it's like, I don't know about
No,
this.
she is literally staring at
Yeah,
the
her
phone.
face is like, oh my god.
Yeah, she's excited. It's a new experience for her. A giant, pale, almost blue-skinned schlong.
Oh my god. These are some pages. This is some pages that we've got going on here from Peter, obviously.
Need to change that page.
I do.
You do.
This page I do not.
Not that page.
Because
Not
it's
that page,
fantastic. No, yeah, this one.
Did
I
you
scrolled
do
away
the
from-
color work too, Peter?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
it's great.
I'm kind of instead of penciling, I'm kind of roughly painting, and then inking over the paint.
Mm-hmm.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, I get you.
It kind of gives it that. It's almost like a pulp novel kind. Do you know what I mean? That kind of. That's what I'm trying to get. Whether it works or not, we'll see. But yeah. So paint, ink over to tighten it all up. Yeah.
Very cool.
Oh, it's gonna work.
Oh, that's old. That's literally. I don't believe that's there. That's not staying on there, is it?
No, it was a stand-in.
Yeah, that's okay.
Stand-in.
Yeah.
I was just
That was
waiting for more art.
literally me working out how to draw the.
This is gonna stay here though. I love your environmental shots so much.
Yeah, that was a weird one because it's Nevada, but back then it was supposed to be greener, a lot greener.
Yeah.
So I Googled stuff and I'm looking for photographs. There's no photographs. Of course, there's no photographs of this green and pleasant Nevada. So yeah, just invent stuff.
Tell them what you said it was. You were like, you said, so I figured it looked just like Scotland with red rocks.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, pretty much. Kind of the Highland sort of thing going on.
Yeah. And yeah, this piece, obviously.
Oh, one of the, I'm not going to get the name right.
The Sitka.
Sitka, that's
It's
it.
a particular tribe that the Paiute Native Americans encountered in the 1500s.
Giants.
Well,
Very-
the actual
very
date,
pleasant.
the actual date of this encounter is, because it's all oral history until it was written down in like the 1800s. So the actual date of when this occurred is, a little iffy.
Mhm.
But this is what they said happened, and you guys are going to find out about it.
Oh, yeah.
You're going to find out all about it. So that's right, folks.
Brutal.
It's
Looks cool.
a good contrast between the peaceful landscape shots and then the shot of somebody biting someone else's head off.
Yeah.
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 It's going to be a big because it's set up in the frozen north and then down in the sort of like Nevada. So that's going to be fun as well. And the changes in, I'm going to be nerdy and arty, so the changes in palette, color, and all that stuff.
Yeah. Very exciting. And
I'm
let me
looking
share
forward to
this
it.
Again here. Folks, go over to Compass Comics to check out all of Graham's stuff. Shanu is going to come down before you said you're launching Thursday.
Well, God willing.
Which because today's Friday, so next Thursday. I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, next
Okay.
Thursday, the 23rd.
And which channel are you going to launch it on?
Whose YouTube channel?
Yeah.
I don't know yet. Yeah,
Okay.
it might be Ethan's. It might be mine. I usually launch on mine in the beginning, and then if Ethan's got the time, we'll jump over to him. But I usually like to launch it on mine first.
Nice.
So you're launching on the Thursday. If you're not busy, don't answer me. But if you're not busy, you're welcome to come on Friday Night Frights the next day.
Oh, perfect! Great.
We're talking that week. We will be talking about cool movies to watch at Halloween. I think that's the theme for that week.
I think I can handle that conversation. What time?
Dude, we do 7 Eastern. We start. So if
7 Eastern. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, let me look and see if I got anything scheduled then. But
more than welcome any week. I'll just drop you the link, man.
Okay, sounds good, Peter. Thank you.
Yeah.
And then I also just posted the sign up for Shanu 77 again. Go sign up for that, folks, if you haven't already. And yeah, I mean, look, I'd love to have you back on if you're game when the campaign's actually going.
Yeah, sure.
But how long is the campaign going for?
I usually run mine live campaigns for 45 days.
Okay. So we'll have to make it pretty soon then. Well, we'll figure it out. We'll talk. And
it'll go in demand after that.
Oh, okay.
Whatever they're calling it now.
Okay. Yeah, Indiegogo's you guys should switch. You all should switch over to FMC. Is it? Do you guys not do that because you think you get less traffic? I guess.
Yes, I
Okay.
That's. But if Indiegogo becomes a problem for the backers, then they're going to be looking for a new place to go. So, but I think from what I can see, Indiegogo is going to be a lot more user friendly for the backers, a little bit more protective for them as well. For with who they end up dealing with. It's just that for the creators getting it set up, there's a lot of questions that aren't getting answered.
Yeah.
So that's the problem.
And before I almost forgot. Shame on me. See, it's because it's the afternoon. Everything's weird for me. And also, ladies and gentlemen, we have Rattel by our very own Frederick Guimond, which is how many days do we have left? We got 49 days left to go on Rattel. Frederick, I'll let you have the mic here.
Yeah, thank you very much, Patrick. Yeah, Rattel is kind of like a very campy superhero story set in the city of Montreal. And we got a hero who kind of grew up being a hacker, kind of went ahead against the banks, saw the corrupt government of Canada, seeing where it was going, and kind of fought back against it and got hit with the full arm of the law and was thrown in jail for about 10 years. and he came out having saved some Bitcoin and comes out kind of very wealthy. And he's got a DIY kind of mind to him. So he sets out and starts building his own set of tools and vehicles, kind of like, a DIY Batman in a way. And this all takes place at the beginning of his story. And you can see him fight the henchman of the evil bank man in the story. Very campy, very fun, a little bit of sci-fi elements as well, a lot of sexy ladies and heroic dude as well. He's kind of making his way in the world, trying to make a difference, and he's lost faith in going about it with the traditional way of authority here in Canada. So you're going to be able to discover a little bit of Montreal. It's a city we don't see a lot in the superhero space, with a lot of familiar elements as well. If a superhero flying through the streets, he's got his own quad board, kind of like a Green Goblin vehicle, allowing him to fly amongst the skyscrapers in the city. We see him here over the university, and it's got beautiful artwork, colors by Ross the Red as well, and you've got a gamut of interesting characters. The main guy is, a Batman-ish type of guy, and he's confronting Russian spies. He's got Haitian voodoo priestess, and as well as some Chinese kung fu masters, Shaolin monks who will go head to head with him. So if you like that kind of combat, action-oriented comic with a little bit of modern sci-fi, that is, we see the future of today, I think you're going to like it. So give it a try. It's available on Fund My Comic, and we're also crowdfunding in Bitcoin. We've got about $1,000 raised in Bitcoin and $1,200 on Fund My Comic. So we're at the $2,000 mark, giving everyone a 2 collectible trading cards with purchase.
Nice,
fantastic. All right. Well, with that, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to end it for this afternoon. Thank you, Graham, so much for coming on.
My pleasure, guys. Great meeting you all, and really
thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. You're welcome on anytime, Graham.
Thank you. You guys have a great weekend.
You too. Peace out, everybody.